This is One on One. There she is, Krishna Powell, CEO of an organization called HR for Your Small Biz. How you doing?
I am doing great.
We've met each other at a variety of business conferences,
Yes.
Business and Industry Association. You focus on what population?
I focus on young professionals, those under the age of 35, millennials, and now Gen Zers. They've
What do you
entered
do
the
for 'em?
workforce. Well, basically, what I teach them is what it takes to succeed in the workplace and how to work with generations older than themselves.
You talking to me?
Well, no.
Yes,
well,
that's
yes,
okay.
I am.
Are you telling me that there's something, it's Gen X and what's the other thing?
Millennials and Gen Z.
Oh, Gen Z? Oh, no,
Yes.
just forget about Gen X. I already dated myself. There's millennials and Gen Z.
Yes.
And the rest of us who are more experienced and really smart.
Yes.
You say, what about the communication interaction between us that you teach them?
Well,
Because, by the way, we have a bunch of them who are running this organization day to day, and they're superstars.
And that's the key. They are superstars. Put them in areas where they can shine, but also have the patience to develop them. A lot of times leaders think that they're going to come in already ready to go and succeed, and they need some help. You know, when you look at the area of communication, they're used to the internet. When
How about some face-to-face?
Face-to-face, that's where they need development. You need to help teach them what the face-to-face interaction looks like.
How about teaching folks to receive difficult-to-hear feedback that is perceived as criticism? I'm not used to that, they'll say. Not ours, but you know.
Exactly.
Go ahead. How do you teach them that?
So what I do is spend time with them and actually do hands-on interaction with them and say, okay, here is the challenge. How are you going to handle it? How are you going to handle when someone say, I have shoes older than you. Why do I have to listen to you? And so
that's a good one. I got to remember that.
You know?
Okay, but you have so much energy and passion and intellect and creativity on the part of the folks you do, plus these folks. How do you harness that so that they're patient enough to be involved in an organization when they think they should be running it?
Right. Well, basically, I let them know.
A generalization.
Yes. Basically, what I let them know is, you know what? Pay attention to the generation that has come before you, because it's more than just what you see on a piece of paper with the job description. There is some blood, sweat, and tears behind that role that you see your leader in. And you need to understand what that is. Are you willing to come in early? Are you willing to stay late? Are you willing to handle those difficult decisions, such as when layoffs happen? Are you willing to have those tough conversations? And not only are you willing to have them, are you willing to hear constructive criticism when it comes to you and to implement it and not say it wasn't me or that's what everybody else is doing?
No, we happen to have an organization, even all the production folks in here are the great guys who happen to be, clearly, I'm looking around, and nobody millennials here. But you know who you are, but we have a group, as I said, of women who run our organization.
Right.
Do you think women, millennials, are, in general, any better at the things you're talking about than men?
Yes.
Because?
They just have a natural ability to nurture and support one another. And so in that nurturing, they have this patience that sometimes my millennial men will be like, oh, I don't have time for this. I'll just quit and move on to the next job. Where I have young women who are more often willing to go, okay, there are some lessons I need to learn here. Let me take a deep breath and see exactly what Krishna's talking about.
It's so interesting, the balance between wanting to be in a hurry and being entrepreneurial, but at the same time, like we had Gary Vee. I know you know Gary Vee.
Yes.
He's been with us many times. Gary believes that entrepreneurs are, you got to have it deep inside you and a passion. Do you believe that great leaders, just like entrepreneurs in this case, born, taught, what?
Both. They're born because you need to have a natural ability to lead people, but at the same time, you still need some development. Again, people have walked that path, so why learn the hard way? Take the time to learn under individuals such as yourself who can say, this is the path I've walked. You can avoid this hiccup, this falling. I can help you get up, matter of fact, when you do struggle along the way. And it doesn't have to be that hard. So leaders, yes, they're born, but to go from good to great, you need development.
As Jim Collins said in his book, Good to Great.
Exactly.
How'd you get good to great? What's your story?
My story is I spent time in corporate America. I spent 20 years in corporate America for various Fortune 500 companies. And I was fortunate enough to have baby boomers and what we call traditionalists, those who are age 70 now, who I still tap into. They're retired, but they still give me feedback. I still go to them and say, here is the challenge I'm having. How would you handle it? And so sitting under their tutelage helped me. And so that's why I'm able to say to young professionals, if you really want to make strides, if you really want to be successful, learn from the generations that have come before you. They've dealt with the different personalities. They understand what it means not only to work smart, but our generation learned to work hard. And here's what hard work looks like. It's not always found on the internet. What do you do when you can't find it on Google? Who do you have? Who are your resources? And so talking to them about what it looks like, how important networking is and building relationships, those are the areas that they struggle at. And so having walked that path myself made me say, I can do this.
30 seconds left. Social media, instantaneous technology, handheld device made it harder to do the things you're talking about?
Yes, it has made it harder because of the fact that people aren't used to looking one another in the eye. And so when they get together, when young professionals come into a room, they're down here like this. And so I work with them and say, did you look up during the meeting? Did you see how so-and-so was feeling when they came in the office? Did you hear when they said they had a project and you didn't volunteer because you were there looking at your phone, looking at your tablet? Exactly. So what does being present look like? They don't always understand it. They think it's me being in the room.
I tell you what, you're present.
Thank you.
And you just brought it.
Thank you
and I
so
want
much.
to thank you for sharing a lot of important insight and advice about leadership and related topics. Krishna Powell, CEO of an organization called HR for Your Small Biz. I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well done.
Thank you.
Check you out next time, folks. This is One-on-One.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Georgian Court University, Valley Bank, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the Russell Berry Foundation, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Summit Medical Group, and by Adler Aphasia Center. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.